Hey, it's Theresa, and I just wanted to come to you and share a little bit of my story because I just feel it's so important to demonstrate why I want to see you at it's time to own it. My story is not one that starts out with a whole lot of glory. I'm actually a high school dropout, and I had my first baby at 17 years and 11 months. I had my second baby at 19 years old. And I had my third child at 22. And back in the day, that was a rough situation because I was a single mom. And I didn't come from a situation where, young women had children like that. I had a mom who was the executive director of a federally qualified healthcare facility and a dad who was an entrepreneur and was well known with big contracts here. And it just was not the life that they were expecting for me, and certainly not the life I thought I was going to have for myself. But I just want to say that there was a lot of people who would have counted me out based on my statistics, based on the way things looked. I mean, actually having 3 kids by the time I was 22 years old as a single mom was a really big challenge. It was a challenge not to be on public assistance, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I didn't know anything about any public assistance. I didn't know anything about food stamps or any kind of welfare check or anything like that. All I knew is that was not going to be my life. So, I got an apartment way up on Schrock Road in Columbus, Ohio. And I thought maybe I could work myself out of a situation and really just take care of my family and make sure everybody was good, make sure my kids were in a neighborhood that was safe, and keep myself afloat. And in the apartment complex that I was at, they told me that my rent was going to go up. Now, I didn't understand at 22, renting my first place by myself. I had my father as a co-signer on that. I didn't understand that rent went up. I didn't understand how the process went. So I questioned them about that. I was like, what y'all gonna do for me for this higher rent? And what I realized is that I was in the wrong position. See, it's about positioning. And the thing about it is the system does not teach you what position you should be in. It teaches you to go to work, get a job, and get your paycheck every 2 weeks and look for it, and then pay your bills and be a good citizen. It doesn't teach you to come up with a plan that puts you in a position where there's some advantages on the home team, on you as an individual, as a mother, as a single mother, or as a family. These days, as a family, there are people struggling with it. Needless to say, what I learned from an independent black broker, just one guy, his name was Sam Legan. He came to me and said to me, Theresa, you know what? You can own a home. Even though you were a single mom, even though you are, you're not earning a big wage at the time, you can own your own home. And he knew some things. He knew what it was going to take for me as this young mama to really get out there and own the home. Within 30 days of meeting with him, I was able to get a VA loan, and I wasn't a veteran. See, he knew some things. He was sharing with me things that would change my life forever. Now I'm going to fast forward, and I'm going to tell you that I figured out I needed to get into the right position. I needed to own my own home. And I hear people complaining about interest rates, but let me tell y'all something. My very first home was at a 10% interest rate. And when I compared it to the mortgage I was in, it reduced that 10% mortgage was $100 less than what my rent was. So I'm telling you, you gotta come out. These days, I only stayed in that house for less than 1.5 years. And then I bought my second home. And the miracle of the whole thing is that I wasn't listening to what people were trying to tell me I should be. Within 1.5 years, I owned my second home. Now I was 24 years old, single mom with 3 kids. Here's what I want you to know. When you come out to It's Time to Own It on January 20th, I want you to know that I'm going to show you if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And I'm speaking to people who are, it doesn't matter. In today's world, you could be a family of two, a family of four. You could be a double income household earner, and it's relevant. I'm going to tell you why it's relevant. Because right now, rents are at an all-time high. Y'all know if you live in our city, y'all never seen expenses like this. But let me tell you something else. When you are a homeowner, you won't find yourself as one of those 100 people a day being evicted at the eviction court. You will not find yourself in that situation. Even if you have a problem, you have an opportunity to work it out. I'm trying to tell you, problems are going to come and problems are going to go. But as a homeowner since I was 22 years old, my family has never been threatened with not having a place to live. Let me tell you something else. Once I figured out that it was okay for me to own a home as a single Black female with 3 small children, and it was okay for me to buy that second home, I figured out how to get the government to pay the government's own loan off. And I want to share this information with you. Listen, the tickets are on Eventbrite. What I have to share with you, and this is why there's always 100 people at this event. What I have to share with you could change the trajectory of your entire life because it happened to me. And I am passionate about making sure that I make a difference within our community. I'm going to tell you something. I am an independent Black-owned brokerage who serves everyone. I am here to give you this information. I have been doing this thing for 30 years. And what I want you to know is that if I can do it, you can do it. Because now, today, this is 30 years later. That's actually about 35 years later. I am the mother and grandmother, the mother of 8 and the grandmother of 7. And I'm telling you what I know can change your life. It can change your children's life. It can help you to build wealth. I could not believe that the house that I paid $35,000 for in 1989 is now worth $225,000, and somebody else paid that mortgage off. And as a matter of fact, somebody else paid 3 mortgages off. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. If you're not in Columbus, then send me an inbox message if you want to know more, because we will put this online, because this situation and this scenario is all across the United States. My name's Theresa Barron. If you want to hear the details on this story, I need you to get to It's Time to Own It